No, that's not true. Israel's the one that gave them that land in the first place. If they didn't want to, there would be no Gaza to begin with. So this was Israel's fault. Israel should have never given them that land. Let alone let a terrorist death cult rule that land. That makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. No rational country or government would do such a thing. To give the terrorist land, like imagine the United States giving pieces of Mexico or whatever, or not even Mexico. I take that back. Giving, let's say, I don't know, Florida. Imagine the United States gives Florida to Al Qaeda, and then they keep launching rockets at the rest of the U.S. And they keep ignoring it for 20 years until they come in on October 7th, rape and kill 1,200 people, and then they're like, all right, we're just gonna have to go in now. Like, why even give them the land in the first place? It makes no sense. And then ignore their ongoing transgressions for 17 years. For 17 years, Israel just stood by while the terror death cult of Hamas has been launching rockets into Israel. And every once in a while, oh, we'll just mow the lawn. Yeah, we'll just go kill a few of their leaders, targets, whatever, and then we'll go back to business as usual. It doesn't work like that. You got to finish the job. So I think they realized at this time, we have to end this. That's enough. Hamas has to be eradicated, has to be destroyed. We can't deal with this anymore. That's what's happening. And Rafah is the last stronghold. And they will be defeated, and it's over. If Israel wants that land, no one on earth can stop it. I don't think they want that land, because if they do, then all those Palestinians, Arabs, they become Israeli citizens and they can vote. And they can democratically get the upper hand inside Israel. Israel doesn't want that.
But
Right?
they've
So
proposed a two-state policy to Israel, and they've said no. They don't want a two-state solution. They want it all for themselves.
no, they don't. The only country that has given any land to Palestinian Arabs is Israel. They gave them the West Bank and they gave them Gaza, which, by the way, they took from Transjordan and they took from Egypt, which both invaded Israel after the UN declaration of the two-state solution. The Arabs rejected it. So the Arabs took that land, Israel took it back and then gave it to the Palestinians. They didn't turn it into corrupted terroristic death cults and they launched attacks on Israel. What is Israel supposed to do? That's just what it is. And then you got Iran. Iran forced Hamas to do this, by the way. The Hamas leaders are regretful for what they did because they're going to be annihilated. They're finished. They're destroyed. But they were forced to do this by Iran because Israel was about to normalize relations and establish ties with Saudi Arabia, as they have already done with UAE, Bahrain, Sudan, Morocco, and I'm missing one, Kuwait. Is it Kuwait in there? I think Kuwait is in there. And Oman, right? If Israel if Israel normalized ties with Saudi Arabia, it's game over for Iran. So Iran forced Hamas to attack Israel. But by forcing them to do that, they played their card, and now Hamas is destroyed, and Hamas is no more. They're going to be completely wiped out. That bridge that's completely destroyed. So that's the end of that. Like it's just been played out. Its cards burned out. That's really it. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, I just don't. I get what you're saying. Like, I understand it. I just don't think some of the things that Israel has done is justifiable.
If you're going to say that, if you're going to say the
I'm trying to
IDF has
find.
bad souls, if you're going to say there's bad apples in the IDF, then we can argue there's bad apples in every military.
We can, yeah, but you can still condemn people for that. And I can still condemn the politicians that say racist stuff. I can still condemn the fact that babies were killed. I can still condemn, arresting 12-year-olds.
Yeah, that's fine. But you're not, I feel like these are good to be conscious of these incidents and condemn them. That's fine. But I think you're missing the bigger picture resolution. Because condemning IDF soldiers is not going to improve the lives of Palestinians, right? But creating a safe space, a secured zone without Hamas, and allowing them to have access to basic human rights, security, food, have freedom of religion. These are important things. This is why the 2.4 million Arabs living inside Israel have more rights than Arabs anywhere else in the Middle East. This is fantastic. It's unfortunate there's still some stabbings that go on and ethnic tensions. I don't like that. I don't want there to be ethnic tensions. I want everyone to live in peace. But by and large, they are living peacefully. That's what we need. That's our blueprint. Because nowhere else in the Middle East can Jews and Christians and Muslims live alongside each other peacefully. It doesn't exist. Except Israel. Israel is the antidote to these problems.
Wait. Hold on a second. There's nowhere else on earth where Christians, Muslims, and Jews all live together.
No, I said in the Middle East.
Right, okay. Sorry, I thought you said that for a second. I got a bit concerned.
No, in the Middle East, the only place that Jews, Christians, and Muslims can freely practice their religion openly and live in peace amongst each other is Israel. Nowhere else. And if you want to name countries, you can. Not in Saudi Arabia, not in Iran, not in Egypt, not in Syria, not in Yemen, not any of these places. None of them. Nowhere can you. And we can even add Baha'is to that. Baha'is are a heretical, idol-worshipping group. But their headquarters is in Israel. It's in Haifa. If it was up to Hamas and Iran, they would be destroyed. They destroy their shrines. I reject their religion, but I respect their right to exist. And so does Israel. And that's what we need. We need freedom of religion. This is so crucial and missing from the Middle East. And it's causing them a lot of problems. The most precious gift God has given us on this planet is freedom of choice, freedom of religion. And when people take that away, there's going to be hell to pay.
So who are you saying took that away from people?
All these governments and these societies.
Right, okay.
So like in Iran, if you convert from Islam to, let's say, Christianity, you will be killed. That's a death penalty.
Right, but there was a really big Christian population in Palestine.
Are they allowed to preach Christianity?
And yeah, there's churches.
No.
There's churches in Palestine.
Yeah, you keep saying Palestine. What does that mean? That's a broad term that doesn't really mean anything. It's just a region. You have to be more specific. So if I know you're talking about Hamas, or you're talking about Palestinian Authority, or who, because these are different governments under different leaderships. If you keep saying Palestine, it doesn't mean anything.
How does that not mean anything? So when you look at a map and it says Palestine and it outlines an area, that there's churches in that area, or there was, I don't know, because they bombed quite a few.
Yeah, at most you can say it's a region. That's it, but it's not a state. There is no state of Palestine. That's not a thing. It's like me saying the Arabian Peninsula. But if I say the Arabian Peninsula, what am I referring to? Am I referring to Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iraq? What country am I referring to? If you just say Palestine, it's just a region. It's not a country. It's like an area.
Sure, yeah, but you still know what I'm on about when I say Palestine, as if you look at a map.
No, I don't, because are you talking about Gaza or are you talking about the West Bank?
That's in Palestine.
Yeah, have you looked at a map before?
Yes.
Yeah, so these are different regions, different political entities.
Okay, but if I say England and then I say something happened, there's churches in England, and you say, but there's lots of different governments in England, and you want me to say Bristol.
England is a political institution. Palestine isn't.
Right, okay, but I'm on about if you look at on a map, England, you know what the border of it is, right?
Yeah, but for Palestine, there is no border because it's not a country. It's not established. No one recognizes it, and it's different territories made up of different government agencies. In fact, Hamas and the Palestinian Authority are at war with each other. Yesterday, they had severe clashes in the West Bank. They're fighting among each other. One is a Sunni terrorist death cult, and the other is just a corrupt, standard, run-of-the-mill Muslim organization. Neither of them are democratic. Neither have held elections in almost 20 years, both in the East and the West.
Okay, so I don't know how to send this to you, but I'm sure you've got more knowledge of it than me looking at it on a map. But there is, even if you type in map of Israel, which I've done, it still highlights the area of Palestine.
No, the most it'll say is Palestinian territories. That's the most it will say. It will not say Palestine. It'll just say Palestinian territories.
Okay, if I say Palestinian territories, would it maybe help get my point across that there's churches in Palestinian territories?
Look, the issue is not the existence of churches. Iran has churches. Morocco has churches. It's just saying that churches exist is not sufficient, because those are historical.
I'm sorry. I thought your point.
Yeah.
I thought your point was that they couldn't have freedom of religion. I thought that was your point. If I misunderstood, I'm sorry.
No. Freedom of religion is more than just having a historical heritage site. Freedom of religion means that today I'm Muslim. Tomorrow I'm going to convert and become Christian. That freedom does not exist over there. Not in Hamas, not in Iran, not in any of these countries. You can't do that. Let alone preaching.
So how was there Christians? Yeah. So how was there Christians there? Is my question.
These are Christian ethnic. These are minorities from before. They're just artifacts of the past. It's not like people are converting to Christianity. These are ancient. These are like ancient Christians.
Yeah, but freedom of religion isn't just freedom to convert. Freedom of religion is also freedom to practice, like going to church every Sunday or going to mosque.
But it's a package deal, right? If you have, it's not limited to one of these. You have to have all of them. Freedom of expression, freedom to convert, freedom to preach, freedom to practice. You're looking at one element of this limited to a very small minority and saying freedom of religion exists. I'm looking at it as a whole.
So what is your argument that people in, what is it you wanted me to call it, Palestinian territory, couldn't convert if they wanted to?
No, yeah.
Or
they can't. I think it's illegal in the Hamas code or whatever. I mean, I can look up specific let's see. So what is really good source on this is Freedom House. So let's look at Freedom House on Gaza. Okay. So
yeah, because I'm all for getting rid of Hamas. I don't think they're good. I think what they did on October 7th was just disgusting. I don't agree with any of it. I just think the way that people are going about getting rid of them is maybe just a little bit, I don't know. On some of the things I get where the IDF was coming from, and on others it's just straight up war crimes.
I mean, we say war crimes, we use that expression loosely.
No, I don't. I use it by the definition. So if you Google what a war crime is, it'll bring up a list. They've committed war crimes.
Give me an example of one of their war crimes.
Oh, you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm the brain tumor.
Take your time. You're fine. In the meantime, while you're getting that pulled up, I shared the link to Gaza's Freedom House. It's 11 out of 100. 11 out of 100. That's worse than Saudi Arabia. I think that's worse than Iran. That's horrendous. It's the worst. It's really bad.
Hold on. They've brought up a list. You're gonna have to bear with me. Murder.
This is what it says. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So obviously there's a criteria for what a war crime is. We're not going to argue on that because it's just fact. So these are the ones that Israel has committed that are war crimes. So intentional targeting of civilians. So not like Hamas is hiding in a hospital.
But you have to prove that.
Well, I'm just reading the list, and we can always go into each one. I just thought, it's a pretty long list.
Peace be upon you. The civil worker which Israel hunted down. Do I have to give you a source for that, or would you believe me?
Yes, please, yes. Provide all the sources you like, please, and thank you. Thank you. God says,
Okay.
do not accept any information unless you verify for yourself. I've given you the hearing, the eyesight, and the brain, and you are responsible for using them.
Sadaqallahu
Right,
al-Azim. That is the truth. I will provide your source.
let me just finish reading this list because I think it's important, and then we can always go into like sources after. So, killing prisoners of war. So I presume that's like the IDF took people without charges and tried to trade them for Israeli hostages. Indiscriminate attacks, collective punishment, which is like not letting aid go through or whatever. Starvation, the use of human shields, which I presume they're saying, I don't know what they're saying on that one.
Yeah, I
Sexual
mean,
violence.
it sounds like a pro Hamas website that's just trying to attack Israel. To be honest with you.
I mean, you can oppose Israel and not be pro-Hamas. I think Hamas are disgusting. I can still be
No,
against
I
killing
agree.
babies.
Okay, that's fine. I agree, but these allegations just don't seem very like valid. To be honest.
In what way?
Like you would have to prove these claims.
But why do you not have to prove anything on the IDF side that they're not committing war crimes?
Because the
Like
burden of proof is on
yeah,
the side making claims. Like
yeah,
I'm not accusing France of making war crimes, so why do I have to prove that they didn't?
but you're not providing
I
any
mean,
evidence for like Hamas not letting people convert, and you can't convert in the
no, I
Palestinian
did.
territory.
I did. I gave a comprehensive report by Freedom House, which is a neutral agency that does yearly analysis and reports on 193 countries and territories. I put it in the chat already.
Hold on.
I've been studying researching, and following Freedom House country reports for years, maybe 10, 15 years or longer. They're very
Wait, so
credible. They're very
who
reliable.
are they?
You can look.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Freedom
it now.
House.
Who are they?
Freedom House is a nonprofit, independent, investigative. I guess you can call it like a what's. It's just like a it's just like a research database basically. Where there's a group of people where they do country reports on all countries, including United States, including Israel, everywhere. They do country reports with serious analysis on a point system for all the relevant types of freedoms for all countries and territories. It's very rigorous. It has a long history. This isn't just some random website. Like this is an established organization with credibility.
Right. Okay.
So they give. You can look at each of the categories. They give research. They give research and resources for each one.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I don't read very quick. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. We don't have to go through a whole lot today. Honestly, you're fine. I'm fasting anyway. My brain is not functioning that well. I wanted to thank you for having a peaceful dialogue with me.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't understand how we went from condemning Hamas, because that's obviously, what we should be doing, to no, Hamas was, I don't even know what the argument is, but all civil discord broke down at that point. Like,
No, Hamas
civil,
just needs to be destroyed. That's really what it comes down to. Hamas needs to be destroyed, and that's what's happening. War is ugly, and it's just people are not comfortable with or find disturbing. But war is war. Has been by the United States bombing of Germany in one night. Then all the civilians have died in Gaza in one night. But you're
with
right.
all due,
There was no social media. There was no one on the ground taking photos and videos of all the dead babies. You
yeah,
know
but
what I
with all
mean?
due respect, I don't care that they're killing less people than they did in a different war. I care that they're killing people. The
But
numbers
but
don't matter to me. One
but
person
it,
is too many.
wait. But that's what war is. War is killing people, and unfortunately, in many times, it involves innocents being killed in the crossfire or as collateral damage. That's just a fact of war. If you want to change the definition of war fundamentally, sure. But we're talking about the most entrenched, military group in the world. Their entire military strategy is to embed into the civilian population. That's what they're designed to do. The design is to maximize human casualties and sufferings of civilians. And so it's like, it's hard. If you want to look at Grozny in Russia, when they went to Dagestan or whatever, and they pretty much just killed everyone, right? That's a different story. You can look at what Syria done. You can look at what Russia done, right? We have those examples. They exist. I'm telling you, Israel isn't doing that. When there's 300 aid trucks going in every day in Syria, and the whole of 2024 so far, there's only been 95 aid trucks in total, not per day, total. And there's millions of people. There's more people starving in Syria than in Gaza. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Syria, which in fact includes at least a few million Palestinian refugees. When Assad destroyed the Yarmouk Palestinian refugee camp in Damascus, nobody cared. He completely destroyed it. Just ashes.
I just want to stop you for a second, because the argument you're now making is this other country there's worse things going on there, which is it's just not a good argument. Like bad
So
things.
I made multiple arguments. Okay, I'm making multiple arguments. One
Navid.
is, wait. She made a comment. Let me just respond to this and you can speak. One is, yes, you have bad countries with bad tactics like Russia, Iran, Syria. Well, they'll just decimate a population. And that's one way to go about the war and just kill all civilians. That's one way. Another way is the Western countries like France, United Kingdom, United States, where they're taking precautions, they're trying to minimize civilian casualties, and they're still killing a ton of them. The third way is Israel's way, which is not trying to kill civilians, minimizing casualties, and doing better than the United States. If we compare the data that's available.
Yeah, but hold on a second there. I don't care that they're doing better. I care that they're doing badly. You can be bad at something and somebody else can be terrible at it.
Then that's invalid criticism, because now you're holding Israel to a higher standard than all other countries.
How do you know that? How do you know that I don't hate all other countries' definition of war?
Because this is your selective outrage, because this whole conversation started about me getting coffee from McDonald's. You don't care about any other country when it comes to product. If you want to talk about it that way, then I can't buy products from any country anywhere, because all products are tied to some country that's at war with another country where civilians are dying. But you pinpointed McDonald's, you pinpointed Israel.
Yeah, hold on a second. We've talked for a couple of days now, but how do you know I'm not outraged at all the other wars going on? You can't
because
make
then you
that
would because then you wouldn't be able to eat anything or consume any product, because all products involve some countries that are involved with some conflicts that you find unjust.
Yeah,
so
at the
then
moment
you just can't exist.
Yeah, at the moment I don't actually buy food at the moment, because it's just become such a murky situation, and I no longer have any faith in just about any company now that they're not sending money for weapons.
I know, but you can't just not buy food. Like, that's not a reasonable option.
No, I know, but just for the sake of this argument and the point you made, which was obviously you can't live that way, because your argument's basically that I'm only angry at Israel, which isn't true. I'm angry at all the wars going on in the world. The only reason it came up was because of the McDonald's thing.
I know, so it's like you're upset and like I don't even want to use the word upset, but you reacted to me wanting to buy coffee at McDonald's to stay up for the night of destiny. You're like, well, look, McDonald's gave Happy Meals. And first of all, why would adults even want Happy Meals anyway? I'm pretty sure they give Happy Meals with children. Why would they give them to IDF soldiers?
I have no idea. It was a bad marketing technique.
Yeah, the gesture, the gesture itself, that's what matters.
The what?
What? How do I say it? That's beside the point. In VC1 chat, I cited the verse.
God bless you,
5,
Sham. I need to make a phone call. I'll be back, guys. God bless you. Hey, Sham, God bless you, brother.
Right,
and sister, I really enjoyed talking with you. You're very civil. You're very peaceful, and I appreciate the exchange. I really appreciate you. Yeah, I really appreciate this civil discourse. I think this needs to happen more often on the public space online.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you for being so considerate back.
Yeah, I don't think it's helpful to call names and throw insults and
No,
do personal
no.
attacks.
The moment you yell or the moment you call somebody a name is the minute that you've lost your argument.
Exactly. All right. I'll be back, God willing. I might not have my phone call for long. I'll be back.
Okay,
But keep
all right.
talking, you guys. Yeah, peace.